Okay, the question of the day is: did Corrie ten Boom believe in the justification of all? All right, years ago I read Corrie ten Boom's story, and we all heard it, way back when she was still alive, and she was a hot item in Christianity, showing up on the 700 Club. And I remember her, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was her, saying that there was a Jewish woman in the concentration camps who purposefully had sex with one of the Nazi officers so that she could get pregnant. And because she was carrying a German child, they let her out of the prison camp. And oh my gosh, it was so mind boggling, because all my Christian life up until then, I had believed that, oh my God, you don't want to sin, especially you don't want to have sex with someone, and especially you don't want to get pregnant. But this was a story about justification. Did ten Boom believe in the justification of all? I don't think so. I don't know that she did. But I'm going to use her as an example that there's something big here with this idea of justification. It's not the same thing as pardon. God offers to Israel and the Jews a pardon for sins, but to us, Gentile boys and girls, under Paul's evangel, the big deal is that we're justified in Christ. Anyway, so look at this. Verse 18 of Romans 5. Consequently then, it was through one offense for all mankind for condemnation, thus also through one just award for all mankind for life's justifying. What is life's justifying? Well, it has a lot to do with the one act of Christ. Because the one offense came through Adam, and the one act of that justified all mankind came through Christ. Verse 19, I'll show it to you down here. For even as through the disobedience of the one man, the vast majority of which we are speaking were constituted sinners, thus also through the obedience of the one, the same amount shall be constituted just. Now, this woman who had sex with a Nazi officer, was her act justified? Yeah, I guess we could argue that. But we want to talk about the justification of all mankind. Life's justifying for all mankind. It has a lot to do with Christ. Okay? So, okay, the next story I wanted to bring up was a story of a woman I read about who was looking at her great-great-grandmother in a picture on the wall. And in the picture was the two brothers and two sisters of the great-great-grandmother. And everybody knew that this great-great-grandmother in her family, everybody knew that she was naughty. She had sex with somebody she should not have had sex with. In fact, I think it was a married man. And she got pregnant. And she was the gossip of the town. Oh, salacious. Oh my God, a scandal. She got pregnant, and she might have even had 2 kids with this married man. She was really bad girl. But as she was staring at this woman, as this woman was staring at this picture of the great-great-grandmother and the 2 brothers and 2 sisters, she realized the 2 brothers and 2 sisters in the picture were fine, upstanding citizens, and nobody ever said a bad word about them, but they were childless. And it dawned on her at that very moment that there were 287 people alive today thanks to this naughty great-grandmother. So that's the second story. Okay, here's another story about life's justifying. I heard a story years ago about this shepherd who was trying to get his lamb, female lamb, across the river, the large creek. And she just wouldn't go, but the lamb had a baby. So the shepherd took the baby up in his arms, and he crossed over the big creek, the river, and the lamb followed because she wanted to be with that baby. She had no choice. God brings things into our life, and it's going to be justified. All of life is going to be justified. What is life's justifying? It's a big concept. It's bigger than I can grasp. Consequently, then, it was through one offensive act by Adam for all mankind for condemnation. We're all confused by it. Thus also through one just award, Christ on the cross, for all mankind, for life's justifying. What is life's justifying? Maybe we should believe these two words, life's justifying, that life itself will be justified. Once we arrive at the consummation, we can look back and say, oh my God, things were just horrible. This happened and that happened, but you know, it all makes sense now, because it was like the shepherd who took the lamb to the baby lamb to the other side of the river, or like in Corrie ten Boom's story, she had sex with the Nazi officer, or like this great grandmother who had 287 descendants alive today, even though she was a naughty girl and nobody in town said a kind word to her. Oh man, I'm not trying to justify sin, but even Paul gets very close and talks about down here. Let's go down here. Yet law came in by the way that the offense should be increasing, yet where sin increases, grace super exceeds. Grace super exceeds. No preacher that I know of in popular Christianity will ever be accused of saying, oh, grace super exceeds. They don't say that grace super exceeds. They won't talk about it. But grace super exceeding and life's justifying, and the many constituted just through the obedience of the one, and the many constituted sinners through the disobedience of the one. This whole program that we're looking at in the scriptures is far bigger than our personal contribution. There's a big thing going on here. All of life will be justified by Christ and his work on the cross. All right, just some thoughts I wanted to share, and grace to you and peace. Like and share.